Yeah. Hey. Well, yeah. Goonies never say die. You know what time it is. We got horror suspense. Listen, Kevin Trav digging in the bin. Dirty Dancing in Encino Man. You never know what you'll find in Uncle Doug's bin. What's in the bin? Yeah, Uncle Doug's bin. He's got all these flicks from way back when. Marty McFly in the DeLorean. Gotta love the cage and whatever he's in. Face off Snake Guys, you know it's a win. What's in the bin? Yeah, Uncle Doug's bin. What's in the bin? Yeah, Uncle Doug's bin. What's in the bin? Yeah, Uncle Doug's bin. What's in the bin? Yeah, let's begin.
Welcome to Uncle Doug's DVD bin.
Uncle Doug's DVD bin. Why does it have to be Uncle Doug? Why can't we name it after somebody that we both like?
Okay, all right, Travis, I appreciate that you're in a place right now. You're still in an emotional state. We can talk about it, but I have to get through the intro, and we also have company, so just dial it back 20%.
All right.
Okay.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Okay, I'm just gonna start. I'm just start over. Okay. Welcome to DVD Bin, the podcast where we take your favorite movies, give you the facts, tell you the plot, and there might even be a few jokes along the way. I'm your host, Kevin.
I'm your other host, Travis.
And I'm Brian.
Ooh.
Ooh, we do have a Brian. Does that make you feel better, Travis, that we have a Brian here?
I'm just glad that it's not a Douglas. That's all I'm happy about.
Yeah, sorry, I hate to start reading, Brian. Before we get going, first of all, you were not a Brian Harvest Black Hancock that did the hit song that is our theme song for Uncle Doug's DVD bin. You were an entirely separate Brian.
Correct. I have no musical talent whatsoever. I'm actually a bagger at the Kroger's, and Uncle Doug is my number one customer.
Oh wow.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's why I reached out to you. I knew you and Uncle Doug had really been, did the kids say vibing, I guess. And
oh yeah, he doesn't even need to ask paper or plastic. I have that paper ready to go.
He hates plastic.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think it's something sensory about the noises it makes when it. I'm sorry, Travis. We're talking about Doug. I know it upsets you.
I know. I'm trying to get through it. Yeah.
Okay. Well, you might want to plug your ears because I did reach out to Brian. And he was nice enough to come along with me to Uncle Doug's abode, his lovely home, to try to procure another film for the podcast because we have to keep the podcast going. So first of all, Brian, I want to say thank you for doing that. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Any chance I get to mend a familial relationship, I'm there.
I might have misled you a little bit there by calling him Uncle. He's actually not family to either Travis or I. It's just his name's Uncle Doug. So he's my Uncle Doug as well. Oh, got it. Gotcha. You're one of the nephews. I understand. Okay, sorry.
Yeah. Well, when I see him at the grocery store, if I just say, "Hey, Doug," he immediately corrects me. Uncle Doug.
I love it how he does that. That is fantastic. I do again appreciate you coming with me, and you did help me get another DVD, the movie that we're talking about today, Little Shop of Horrors, 1986. We're really excited to talk about that. But Brian, do you want to maybe just tell the listeners kind of what happened when we were there?
Yeah, well, we rolled up to the mobile home, and he was already on the porch. He was waiting for us. He was ready to go. And the first words out of his mouth was, "Is Travis with you? Is Travis with you?" And fortunately, we were able to ease him a little bit. But no. Of course, we wouldn't bring Travis. I had already heard about the spat.
Facebook, I guess, probably.
Well, it was actually an offshoot of Facebook called Bill Buds. And that's where you post all your, bills that you receive and share them into the community. And that's where he was just sharing his grievances about his quote-unquote nephew, Travis. And Travis, he doesn't have kind words to say to you. It was a struggle to try to ask for a DVD.
You know what? It's not my fault. It's not my fault. I am guilty of being wrong place, wrong time, and you can't get that through his thick, mulleted, fat skull. So, you know what? I don't have nice things to say about him either. Hope his trailer burns down.
Okay. Or you don't mean that, all right? You don't mean that because that's where the bin is.
I hope he moves out. I hope he moves the bin into the yard and then burns the. I hope the trailer burns down without the bin in it.
It's very specific, but yeah, that would probably be about where you're at emotionally.
Yes.
So Brian and I were there, and we said, well, could we pick out a movie? Could we grab a movie? I don't want to intrude. And Trish was kind of standing behind him, just leering. There's something scary about that woman, don't you think, Brian?
It's scary and alluring. She was winking the whole time.
She was trying to get Brian's about to be the next victim.
No, she was.
Well, I diverted my eyes.
Well, just to defend Trish a little bit, because she's not here to defend. She was standing under the bug zapper, and that was bringing the moths and skeeters and stuff. So maybe that was kind of getting in her eyes. But she did have a look on her face that she was very happy to see Brian. Anyway, she said paper or plastic. I don't need either one. Was what those eyes said, and really begged to question. But I am glad we were able to get the movie. Doug actually did not allow us to come in the home. He actually just threw the movie randomly out of the bin at our feet, which is better than not having a movie. So hey, that's where we did it, right? Brian, you and I, we achieved our goal.
Yeah, I have a lot of respect for DVDs, and storage in a bin isn't my go-to to begin with. And I almost felt disrespected with him throwing it at us, but we got the movie, so
yeah.
He left with some parting words for Travis. He actually asked,
what were they? What were the parting words?
Okay,
let's hear them.
I guess go ahead. I just maybe don't. Oh boy.
Well, he actually made me come near and whispered into my ear, and he said, "You tell Travis to sleep with one eye open and one hand closed." Now, I thought, does that make sense to you? Like, to me, it sounded like a riddle. But
yeah,
I figured if I passed
he
it on,
knows I always sleep with two hands open. I don't know what he's going to slide something into my palm at night. I don't understand. I definitely have an eye open. That's for sure.
I was, a ways back, obviously, but I really got cold chills the way he said it. And like he was a real husky whisper, so it was a lot of breath coming out. And I could really smell the Busch Light and Marlboros on it. And I think he was pretty serious about this, Travis.
I'm going to keep my Ring cameras. I'm going to keep the batteries in them. I'm going to make sure that we're safe and sound out there. I can't have another intrusion with snakes. I just can't handle it, Kevin. I'll leave the podcast if it comes to that.
Okay. It's gonna be fine. If there's any more snake issues, I'll come over there. It's not a big deal. All right, I can help you handle your snakes. Okay, don't worry, we got it. Brian, besides bagging groceries at Kroger, is there anything else that maybe the listeners here at Uncle Doug's? I'm at the podcast should know.
Oh yeah, I'm just I'm a stay-at-home dad. Like to take care of the family. The Kroger bagging is just a part-time gig to give me some extra spending cash on movies and games and things like that. So, I like to be a caretaker. I like to make sure everyone's taken care of. And if I can mend a friendly or familiar relationship, I'm here to do it.
I really
with both hands open and ready to go.
One hand open, one hand closed, depending on what the situation calls for. I really appreciated you coming with. It made me feel better, frankly. Like I was a little more steady that you were there, because it's always been me and Travis, and so going up there alone at night, with an angry Uncle Doug, I just wanted to say thank you. That's what I wanted to say. Thank you very much, and thank you for being on the show as well to discuss it with it.
Absolutely. And I tell you what, the teeth on Uncle Doug really shine in that midnight glow.
Paula didn't forget it. You know what I mean? But, we were fortunate. We got a great movie. Okay. You never know what's going to come out of the bin. We've done movies like Hudson Hawk, but we actually got a pretty good movie. We got Little Shop of Horrors, 1986. Now, as I mentioned, the release date for that was 1986, specifically December 19th.
Another 86 movie, man.
There's something about him. It's something about him.
Doug's trying to say something. I don't know what. I was born in 85. I don't know if he just missed the mark trying to make a statement. But a lot of 86 movies the last couple of seasons.
You know what? If you want someone gone, a common turn of phrase is, I'll 86 you.
Oh, snap.
Oh.
Oh, snap.
Sure
That's what this has been all along.
This is... Uncle Doug is the riddle king.
He really...
This is what... You've busted this wide open.
That's okay. All right. Let's not jump to any conclusions here. Okay. There's the 19 in front of it. It's probably okay. Anyway, December 19th is when the film came out. Directed by Frank Oz, very famous puppeteer and creature creator. So as you can see from the amazing puppet work in this film, written by Howard Ashman.
There's puppets
Roger
in this film?
Corman. Yep. Sure, Travis.
That's a real plant, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Well, there are real plants in it.
The baby one.
Just making sure.
Roger Corman and Charles B. Griffith, starring Rick Moranis, Ellen Greene, Vincent Gardenia, Steve Martin. Guest appearances by Bill Murray, Jim Belushi,
Christopher Guest, John Candy.
John Candy. Just there is a who's who of 1980s comedy in this film, so pretty exciting. It is based on. I actually, in prep for this, watched the 1960s film by Roger Corman. It's pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. It's not as good as the musical, but it's definitely a lark, man. It's definitely worth checking out. So if you like the musical version, maybe check that one out. It's from the 60s. He apparently made it in like 2 days. And it was notoriously, they say it was on a bet. They're like, you can't make a movie in 2 days. He's like, yeah, I can. So, I kind of appreciate that.
Because most of Roger Corman's movies were made in like 4 days. So for him to get it down to 2, whoa. Wow.
Cut it right in half. That's impressive.
Not bad.
Well, something else that's impressive is, Travis, you go out there and you find us the 6 Degrees of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Now, Brian, I know I see a look on your face. You say, we're not doing the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. If you just had to guess what 6 Degrees of Texas Chainsaw Massacre is, what would you think it is?
Oh, well, I would say if you take the temperature of a Texas massacre and go either plus or minus 6... that would give you a different temperature.
Nailed it.
You were right on point. What it also could be is a la 6 Degrees of Texas, Chainsaw Massacre, 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon, kind of a little mashup there.
Oh, that makes a lot more sense.
It actually is, maybe, potentially. I really hope you actually did 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon in this. But Travis connects the previous movie that we, judging by the look on his face, I'm thinking maybe he didn't. But the previous movie that we did to the current movie that we're doing, vis-a-vis actors who have shared the screen together. For example, named after the 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon game, which, of course, that would be such a softball for Travis to have done while we were putting together this podcast. So anyway, Travis, dear sweet, beautiful Travis, what have you done for our 6 Degrees of Texas Chainsaw Massacre? I hope I vamped long enough for you.
A segment that takes longer to explain than do. I love it.
That's right.
Yeah, I didn't do Kevin Bacon because it would be too easy. He's been in every movie with everyone. He has one connection to all these people, so it was not interesting. But I found fun connections. That's what I'm into nowadays, like the singing connection. Okay. So you remember Reba McEntire, right, Kevin? She was in the last movie.
Yeah. She did that fancy song too.
Yeah, and here's your one chance. She was in Little Rascals with Whoopi Goldberg, and Whoopi Goldberg was in House Party 2 with Tisha Campbell, who was one of the 3 lady singers throughout Little Shop of Horrors here.
Oh, all right. Okay. Yeah. I like it. Okay, that's pretty good. Yeah. Nice job. I mean, better if Kevin Bacon was in it.
Sure. Kevin Bacon was in a lot of movies with a lot of people. How about that?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now, next up, I got one called the John Goodman Rules Connection, just because I like John Goodman. So this one's more for me.
Oh, he is great.
But, Rick Moranis, he was in this movie. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. He was in The Flintstones with John Goodman. Mm-hmm. And John Goodman was in Masked and Anonymous with Fred Ward, who was in the last movie.
Was it Tremors?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. That wasn't. You know what? You did in fact use John Goodman.
I like John
Goodman.
Goodman.
They say you do one for them, one for you.
Yeah.
And so that was the one for you. So that one didn't have Kevin.
Nope.
Bacon
None of them have Kevin Bacon. I want to be clear about that. And
so this next one that you're doing is definitely going to have Kevin Bacon.
Absolutely not. I did one called From Gross to Guest. Michael Gross was in 12 Wishes of Christmas. It looks like a horrible movie from 2011 with Fred Willard, one of my all-time favorites. Fred Willard, of course, was in Waiting for Guffman and a number of movies with Christopher Guest, but I like Waiting for Guffman. So, there you go.
And more on that gross connection. Didn't Fred Willard do something gross in a LA movie theater?
Did he rip Frederick?
Fred.
Did he?
No.
Did he Pee Wee his Herman in one of those?
I think he had one hand closed.
Ah.
I'm embarrassed and ashamed of him. That is very gross.
Yeah, no.
But you know what? Terry Gross would never do anything like that.
No.
She just would host an upstanding NPR show. Well, thank you, Travis, for doing not 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon.
You're welcome.
I appreciate you for really knocking that one out of the park. You do so many things for the show. I shouldn't grief you.
I do
Travis,
everything but
you're
watch
so
the
important.
movie.
And you wouldn't even touch the DVD. Like when we got together for our viewing, you refused to touch it because you knew Uncle Doug had touched it. And
he would know my scent was on it, and then it would be, you know how he is. I don't want to touch. I don't want to touch him.
Yeah, that's how he get you. That's how he track you down. Well, you did go out there into the wilds of the internet, mostly just letterboxed, probably
100%.
But still, what a resource. What a great website.
Oh, yeah, it's a great website
and an app. Thanks for doing that.
Sure.
And you found us some preview reviews to see what the common person on the street thinks of Little Shop of Horrors.
Yeah. So I got, people that love this movie are not articulate on Letterboxd. And so people who love it, once, we got preview reviews. These are ones that contain no spoilers here. We got 4.5 stars from Jockson, not Jackson.
Okay.
Jockson 04. This is actually just from 2 nights ago. He says, 4.5 stars. I loved the lightning. What'd you guys think of the lightning? Did you think it was 4.5 stars worth? Do you think that pretty much summed up the movie for you, the lightning?
Did make it a little scarier at parts.
Didn't it?
It punched it up a little. I mean, as far as movie lightning goes, I don't know, though. 4.5, if I'm going like movie lightning, I think there's better movie light. Think about lightning fingers that the Emperor does in Star Wars. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's a solid. If that's probably, to me, that's a 5. Just if you can shoot lightning out of your fingers.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about. I don't. Whatever.
You disagree.
You know what?
Okay, no, that's fine.
I disagree. No, it's not that I disagree that the lightning was good. I'm having a hard time weighting it at a 4.5. I'd give it like 2.5 to 3 max.
On just the lightning.
Yeah, just the lightning.
Okay. Well, it doesn't stop there. We got a 5 stars as a rewatch by someone who goes by featuring Dante from the Devil May Cry series. That's a whole username. It's real stupid. This is from January of 2016. I've seen this movie more times than I've seen my own father.
Oh. Ow.
And it was a rewatch, so we know they've seen their father at least once.
Oh.
Or 0 to 1.
Or is it
no more than
really,
twice?
It could be.
Potentially.
If you were taking bets, all right, Brian, all right, close, Price is Right rules, closest without going over, how many times do you think this user has seen their father in their life?
6. Do we count pictures?
No.
6.
In real life. Okay. What about you?
How this is Dante.
Mm-hmm.
I would think at least at the birthdays. So I would say 20.
Okay. Think he's just a birthday dad, just
a birthday dad.
A birthday dad. Huh.
And that seems like based on the length of username, probably 20 something.
Yeah.
See, I was gonna say 0 times because, like, if my kid had a username that long, I would just disown him. I would never.
I'm kind of with you on that. Yeah. That's a good.
Anyway,
call.
It's a sad tragedy of modern fatherhood.
You know what? He probably needs to see more of his dad.
Check that out. Check that out. Look at that.
I needed that.
Pretty good.
I didn't know how bad I needed it, but I did, buddy.
Pretty good.
It's going to be hard to only do it once.
It was well, it was very sudden. You didn't really have that suddenly Seymour in there.
Okay.
I don't know.
People
What is good?
People who are meh on it. We got 3 stars from one named Nina with a cat emoji. This is from June of last year. Scarier than Jaws, with even more bloodthirst than American Psycho. This has awakened something evil inside me. It might be vegetarianism.
I guess she thinks plants are evil, so she wants to eradicate as many of them as possible. Is that what the takeaway is there?
I didn't really have a takeaway, Kevin.
Okay, well,
you actually thought about it. I just read it.
Oh, okay. So you're just an empty vessel.
I'm just an empty vessel.
Reviews
Yeah.
to pour through. Okay, all right. What's your takeaway, Brian? It's something interesting. This guy's giving me nothing. I tell you.
I got nothing.
Both films, Jaw and Little Shop of Horrors, have pieces of meat wrapped in newspaper. Right? I would assume on Jaws.
I would assume.
But
Does it though?
there's definitely
Are you? So
But, my
oddly
question
enough,
is-
Free Willy has that. It's like fish meat wrapped in
my question is,
newspaper.
why are we throwing away our newspapers so willy-nilly?
What are you going to
Preach.
do with old newspapers?
Print journalism is dead. It's disrespectful to the newspaper.
I mean,
I can
look,
see why she's angry.
He put the leg of Steve Martin inside this newspaper. If that's not worth something, I don't know what is. He was in The Jerk, for God's sake.
Okay. Well, we got a half star
right, we'll
from
let it go.
one Cinna Sluggo from 2013. This is an old one. This is an ancient one. This is from back in Obama days. Half star, Marxist trash.
What?
Marxist trash.
Was Groucho in this one? What do you mean, Marxist? Surely you're not referring to the political ideology.
Didn't Uncle Doug say this about this movie?
Yeah, but he says that about every movie. It's just kind of his tagline. Okay, all right. Well, you know what?
Well,
I guess so.
I got one more, and I think you boys are going to like it. All right, this is a 1 star from Full Armor X back in July of 2021. Lips look like they be gripping, but I'm not into plants.
What do they grip?
Oh, you know what they grip.
No, I
Food.
I was so. Oh yeah, like those legs in the newspaper.
It's like, didn't you even watch the movie? Come on.
No, I did. I just didn't quite.
This movie might have best lips in Hollywood.
Mhm.
Between Rick Moranis and Audrey II, the lip game is on point. And Steve Martin, come on, he always has that little lip
And
snarl. the
Bill
little
Murray, we got
Elvis
to
thing.
see the inside of his mall.
Oh yeah,
It's a lip film.
it's
a
lip fest.
Yep, that's they need when they redo the movie poster for the I don't know, whatever 50th release, 40th release, whatever decade we're closest to with this movie, that needs to be the tagline underneath it. Like, this is a lip fest.
We'll think about it.
Okay, yeah, just workshop it, work it around. Just think, lip fest. That should be. You know what? I'm thinking maybe with the Polymedia Network, we should do like a festival of some kind. We'll call it Lip Fest.
That sounds great.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
we'll
Well,
just
I'll
good way to
put you
spread
in
herpes. But
coordinating
yeah,
that. Wait, what?
It said it seems like a good way to spread herpes.
Oh, okay. I'm glad you said it louder.
Yeah,
I wasn't
it seemed like you didn't hear me
confused
right. I just wanted to let you know.
Yeah, that's great. Well, anyway, Brian, you're invited to Lip Fest, but what you're also invited to is to help us get through the plot of Little Shop of Horrors. Now, first thing I got to say, I love the intro of this. It's got that old school B-movie 50s, 60s kind of scrawl about, enemies of mankind and evil and all of that sort of stuff. And then it comes in with that theme song. And I love how the scrawl goes away. You see kind of outer space because, the plants from outer space, whatever. We'll get to that part. And then the very first shot is this sort of oily puddle that's in the background, and a bottle of liquor gets tossed into it. And we're like, oh, man, we are in real I don't know, New York City, I guess. Just real rancid, dirty New York City. We're on Skid Row, fellers.
This takes place in the 60s, right?
I do believe so.
Yeah.
Either late 50s, early 60s.
And New York was apparently pretty filthy there for a few decades, through the 60s up through the 80s before they cleaned her up. So you're getting a taste of like the real gritty, grimy streets of New York.
It is one of the dirtiest downtowns I've seen. And I have shown this to my daughter, being a stay-at-home dad. We don't get past the parts that show the plant. She doesn't like that. But she does like the music. And
Too lippy.
I've showed her... What's that?
Too lippy.
Too lippy. I've showed her this song from the movie. We've listened to the soundtrack, but I've showed her this scene. And she asked me, probably for a month after, she said, Dad, our downtown isn't dirty, right? Our downtown isn't dirty. Our downtown isn't dirty. And I've only taken her to certain parts of our downtown. So some parts are dirty. But for the most part, it is not as dirty as this film makes cities look out to be.
Yeah. No, it's not. I think they were seeing it through that 80s lens because 80s New York was pretty scrubby, but they're down, in the kind of downtown dirty area. But you get to meet the chorus. I'm going to call them the chorus because they're kind of like the Greek chorus in old school theater of this. Beautiful
Somehow
voices.
Not getting wet in the rain. I don't know how that's
the thing that I love. I wanted to call. I'm so glad you said that, Travis. One of the things that I love most of this, and I don't know how they did it, but it's fantastic. So the three chorus members who are singing this kind of opening song about the area are somehow walking through the middle of a rainstorm. Obviously on set it was raining the whole 9 yards, but they're not getting wet at all because they're these sort of ethereal characters that come in and out of scenes as like the chorus or narrators. I just love that so much. It was such a cool touch, and I don't know because it looks like it's raining all the way around them, and they're like walking through this. How they didn't get wet? How did that happen?
It's not a good sign we make it 4 minutes into the movie and we're already struck by magic.
No, that's movie magic. I loved it. Anyway, this is a fantastic opening, great song. Bro, it is straight up Skid Row. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, we get introduced to the flower shop where Seymour works. Mr. Something starts with a B. Oh no, it's Mushnick. Mr. Mushnick. And we kind of see him reading the newspaper. We get a little scene of Seymour just being clumsy as all hell. He knocks off an entire plant shelf.
Hey, what was he? There was no fasteners on that thing. Was he just going to hold it up all day?
Yeah, no, that's his part time. That's
he's
what he does.
He's just a shelf
for a hobby.
holder. He's just a command strip.
Well, he wants to do a competition, so he's timing to see how long he can hold it up.
He also lives there, so to let that shelf get to the point where it needs all that help, that's just poor maintenance, I think.
Classic.
It really is.
Classic
I'm kind of, Mr. Mushnick does not treat Seymour all that well, but I'm kind of understanding it a little bit, But we get a little radio clip. He's got the radio on, and we hear about a weird eclipse and President Kennedy, so it kind of helps us set the tone, time, and it's something weird had happened. We jump back upstairs, and Audrey, let's start calling her Audrey I, comes in, and she's very tactically hiding her face from Mr. Mushnick. It's because, she has a black eye, fellas.
I thought she had really good eye makeup.
That's what Seymour thought.
Yeah, we're both pretty stupid.
Yeah. She, I love Mr. Mushnick's response whenever he talks about her boyfriend. Now, Audrey, I do want to take a moment and kind of describe her character just briefly. She's got big hair. She's a very slender build. She's using some sort of magic to appear very buxom, I guess the way I would describe it, to show off.
Are you going to say Lady Jubblies?
I mean, I wasn't gonna, so I'm glad you did. So to kind of, so she dresses a little, not trashy, she wears nice, outfits. But just to give you an idea of what Audrey looks like, and
very distinct voice as well.
I can't.
Should we all do our Audrey voice?
Great singer, but man, I can't deal with her talking. It's so
okay.
Ugh.
It's a character choice.
I'm sure.
All right. How about we do a little competition here? All right, we're all friendly. of the three of us, let's see who can do the best Audrey voice. We'll start with Travis since he hates it the most.
Oh, Seymour! Oh, Seymour! Oh.
Okay. All right. Strong entry. Strong starting point. What about you, Brian?
Oh, Mr. Mushnick! Mr. Mushnick! Oh, Mr. Mushnick! Mr. Mushnick! Oh!
Okay. All right. All right. I know. I was just handcuffed a little. Okay.
So we got it. I think between the three of us.
I think the three of us. I really think Brian probably won. I think he was the closest. If I was really beating in on a winner. Well, anyway, Audrey comes in. She has a black eye. Her boyfriend gave her, and Mr. Mushnick has this kind of, I don't know if it's a callback or whatever, but he's like, I tell you, that guy's no good. I don't think he's good. You're like, yeah, no kidding. He's beating up his girlfriend. Yeah, he's kind of a dirtbag. And about that time, Seymour comes rolling in. He drops pots everywhere to continue the Seymour's clumsy trend. And we get a little moment between him and Audrey where he's like, oh, you look radiant today. Doesn't even notice the black eye. And then he says, is that new eye makeup? Come on, man. That's so sweet. Mm-hmm. He's a sweet little feller.
Or stupid.
Or dumb. One or the other. Maybe both. Mm-hmm. But we also get the idea that maybe Audrey likes him a little bit, too. Well, Mr. Mushnick is lamenting their situation as they don't have much business. The flower shop is kind of going downhill. He chases... Now, the three chorus members, the three girls, are kind of outside of the floor shop, dressed in their street attire, like they're kind of street ruffians or street urchins. Yeah, kind of. And he says, don't you want to improve yourselves? Go back to school. And they're like, yeah, we're on a break since 8th grade or something along those lines. But I love this little scene that occurs here because they kind of walk off screen. This whole movie is shot incredibly theatrically, which makes me get really super nerdy about it. But they kind of walk off screen while this lady we see in alley is like walking down there, and she is just spitting solid gold, just singing her heart out. And we cut back, or not cut back. It doesn't leave that frame, but then the young ladies come back as the chorus, but they're wearing their nice outfits. So they've done like a super quick costume change, and then we jump into the song Skid Row, which here in my notes I have song Skid Row. Holy crap! Good costume change. I think I sufficiently covered that. What do you fellas think?
You did a great job, Kev. Yeah, one of my favorite songs in the whole movie too.
Also, I don't know the woman with the beautiful voice coming down the alley. She's describing how she, alarm goes off at 7. She works till 5, and she's walking home with 2 bags in her hand. I don't know where she went to work with those 2 bags, and it didn't seem like factory work. It didn't seem like I just don't know.
She works at the bag
what you would have carried 2 handbags to work.
The bag factory.
Bag factory.
That's the bag factory.
They had some leftover inventory, and she takes it home. And,
yeah, well, you get, like when you work at a restaurant, you get a shift meal. When you work at the bag factory, you get a shift bag.
She's actually a bag tester. She's a bag tester. They send her home with a couple bags every day, let her test them out.
But this is just a great scene, like all the street folk are pitching in on the song. Very old school musical street number where we're kind of getting to know the area. Audrey sings about her misfortune. Seymour, we learn a little bit about him, how he kind of grew up as a urchin or an orphan rather, and Mr. Mushnick took him in and didn't just basically made him work like 20 hours a day.
It's a real Bob Cratchit kind of situation.
Yeah, exactly. So we kind of get the idea that he's him. And as Seymour, there's one of my favorite little bits of this movie is Seymour singing his song. He kind of goes for a walk around Skid Row, and he ends up in this alley, and it's just like Night of the Living Dead unhoused people crawling up the chain link, singing the chorus. It's wild, man.
They also go to their footsteps that are like stomping on beat, which feels very zombie-esque.
Yeah, it was odd. It was cool, though. I really like it. And eventually, the number ends with like Seymour and Audrey on opposite ends of a corner, not actually seeing each other, but both singing about how they would, like to have a change in their lives and get out of Skid Row. Which this whole opening. I mean, the whole opening of this movie is fantastic. Can you guys tell I really enjoyed this one?
Seems like you liked it, Kev. Do you bop these? Or these on your gym playlist?
Oh yeah, for sure. Especially the one Audrey sings right at the end about being like a mean green mother from outer space. Dude, I rock that all day and twice on Sunday. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, we cut back to the shop and there are just no customers. It is abysmal. They aren't selling a peony. They ain't selling a peony. That's the same thing, isn't it? They're not selling any irises, no tulips, no daffodils, nothing. Not a single carnation.
And I love the editing on this part. Not to get too movie nerdy, but like they show the shop being slow by just hard cuts of them just being in different positions around the flower shop doing nothing.
Love that.
And they could have done that in so many different ways, but they literally do it in about 5 seconds.
Yeah, I love it. So Mr. Mushnick decides, you know what? I'm laying you two off. Don't come into work tomorrow. I don't have enough business. I can't pay you anymore. Which you're telling the guy that lives downstairs that he can't come to work? Okay, I guess he's got to just stay in there. Well, Audrey comes up with the idea for Seymour to go get this strange and unusual plant. That maybe they can use that to help promote the shop. And Seymour does that and brings it back up, this strange plant, in a Maxwell House coffee can, which is straight from the Roger Corman movie, except it might not. It was a different can, but he was growing it in a little can. What did you guys think of this initial impression of the Audrey II?
Visually?
Yeah. What are your impressions of it?
I don't know if I can say what it looks like on a podcast, but I do not enjoy the way it looks.
I think
it is veiny. It is bulbous.
Okay. Veiny and bulbous. Okay. Yeah. It kind of looks like an alcoholic's nose. Okay.
All right. Those are all good descriptions. I don't know why you couldn't say that on a podcast.
Or a small penis.
Veiny and bulbous. Okay. All right. There it is. Great. Well, he brings it out and he's like, hey, there's this strange and unusual plant. Maybe if we put it in the window, it'll bring in customers. And Mr. Mushnick's like, well, that's never going to work. He's like, well, let's just try it. And so he puts it in the window, and of course, immediately somebody walks in. They're like, what is that strange and unusual plant? Anyway, Seymour decides to sing about it, to tell us where he got this plant. So he got it from this store called Chang's, and the proprietor knows that he enjoys strange and unusual plants. But Chang didn't have any that day, so Seymour's like, oh, shucks, that sucks. So he's kind of walking across the street. I love this scene, too. There's like a doo-wop group across the street, and he's getting ready to join it, which I love the idea of like a doo-wop group just performing on the street, and then somebody like Rick Moranis, who's just Mr. Nerd himself, comes up and he's like, I'm ready to get in on this, guys. But there's some lightning, there's this eclipse that they had talked about earlier, and all of a sudden this strange plant appears, which wasn't there before, but that does not stop Chang from going ahead and selling it to Seymour
for inventory. So, heck yeah, man. Plant from the gods. Great lightning, by the way. Oh, I see what they're talking about. Yeah. That's incredible.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna revise what I said. It's not a 2.5. It's a 3.75.
It's not bad. It's not bad at all.
That's up a little bit. Out of curiosity, if you were at a plant store and a mysterious plant appeared that wasn't there before, you gonna pick it up?
Yeah, no hesitation. Yeah, if it wasn't there before and then it magically appeared, I will buy the magic plant. I like magic. I want magic in my life.
What if it's haunted?
It's still it's a good story. Maybe they make a documentary about my life one day when it eats me. I don't know.
What if it's like a monkey's paw and like you try to wish on it and everything goes wrong?
It's more exciting than what I got going on now, man.
That's fair.
So
that's true.
I probably should have mentioned this at the top, and this is 100% true. I don't know. Now that I said that it's 100% true, it's not going to sound that way. But my dad was a florist, and family-owned business for years. And what I don't get about this movie is that, well, I guess why do you need an excuse to buy a plant? Like, Kevin, you asked if something just magically appeared. No, you should just be supporting your local florist.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's powerful.
You don't need strange and unusual. Someone's graduating, get them flowers. Someone got a promotion, get them flowers. You made someone mad, get them flowers. Travis, maybe you could fix things with Uncle Doug with flowers.
We'll see. I don't know. I don't even know if he likes flowers. Maybe he should get me flowers. I think he should be getting me flowers.
Okay, well, I mean,
next time I talk to him.
You tried, Brian. I really appreciate
I'll
that.
pee on him.
Yeah, if there's one thing I'd like to come out of this podcast is us to support the local florists.
Support or like maybe if you've been doing a podcast for like 3 seasons with somebody who has a dulcet and buttery voice who really, really enjoys violets, maybe get them a nice little, maybe some irises.
Do you like irises, Kevin?
Yeah, I like irises. They're really pretty.
Okay. Yeah. Valentine's Day's coming up, so.
Yeah, bluebells. I like bluebells.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if we're talking about Little Shop of Horrors, how about some tulips?
Oh, there he is.
They do grip.
He brought us back. Well, that's the origin story of how Seymour got Audrey II, which he named after Audrey I. That's the name of the plant, Audrey II. Tells the whole story to this guy, and he's like, all right, well, I'll see you later. And he's like, oh, while I'm here, I might as well get $50 worth of roses. And they're like, oh, we don't have change for that. He's like, well, then I'll just get 100. And it's a customer avalanche after this, right? Just people are coming in because of this Audrey II, this plant that is so unique and unusual in the window. So, Brian, did your dad ever put a weird plant in a window to bring in customers?
Not a plant, but there actually was a display window that he would deck out all the time. We actually, like during Halloween, we put a strobe light in the window to try to get people looking at the scary, spooky cobwebs.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And then we got to take the strobe light home for Halloween and use it during trick-or-treating and scare all the little punks in our neighborhood.
This is great.
Man, I love
It's
it.
a fun florist.
Well, that is. Well, speaking of fun florist that's not, Mr. Mushnick, he's trying to be the good boss. He's just made a whole bunch of money. He's excited. He says, hey, I'm taking you two wacky kids, speaking to Audrey and Seymour, out for dinner. And Audrey says, oh, I can't. I have a date. With that no goodnick that she's been running around with. So she can't go. And then Seymour's like, well, do I still get to go out to dinner? And right about that time, Audrey II just collapses. And Mr. Mushnick's like, no, you stay here and fix that plant. Like, how does that work?
That's the moneymaker, man. They got to keep that thing up and going. Look how limp and sad it is. Get that thing back up and running.
What do you think it looked like when it was limp and sad? Anyway, he does need to bring this plant back to life to continue the benefits to the shop, right? Bringing in all these customers. So he takes it down to his little basement apartment. And what do you do in a musical when you're confounded, confused, upset? You have emotion raging within you. You must sing it out. Mm-hmm. That is what he must do. And so he kind of starts singing to Audrey II. And as he's singing, he's like, what do you want from me? I've given you this. I've given you potash. I've given you minerals. I've given you da-da-da-da.
And I hear singing to your plants is a good thing for their health. I don't know if your dad taught you that, Brian. Apparently that's a thing.
We did not sing in our household.
Okay. Yeah, I could tell.
Wow. Jeez. That's why you like musicals so much. It kind of gets you. Gets you.
My freedom.
Yeah. That's freedom. We're going to have a follow-up conversation off air about this. But anyway, moving along. As he's singing, he's like, what do you want, blood from me? And he's picking up a rose right about that time. And, of course, he nicks himself on the rose. And he does what you do. He Rick Moranis seductively sucks on his finger.
Boy, he does, doesn't he?
He made himself play. He did have to play it up here to really make the gag work. But he's really sucking on his finger.
Yeah, of course.
It's an Oscar-winning finger suck.
It really is.
Oh, yeah. If they gave out that, I mean, frankly, they need to stop sorry.
Name a
But he
better
would-
cinematic finger suck. I don't even know that I have one. I can't even think of one.
Man. Whew,
Right?
That's tough.
Yeah, I mean, this is up there. This is easily top 5 all time. It's a good one.
Yeah, I'm gonna think on that and try
Okay.
to get
Well, maybe
try
not
to
right
get
now.
back to
Maybe
you.
later. Yeah.
Yeah, no, if I started thinking right now about finger sucking, I just wouldn't get back on track. So let's just keep this train leaving the station. Toot, toot. So he has damaged his finger. It's bleeding. And Audrey II is mimicking the sucking noise he was making.
Lips the grip.
Lips that grip. That's right. And so he's like, well, you were making the noise. That's so wild. And he goes over to like examine the plant, and it nips at him with his little bloody finger. And there's a really extended bit here that doesn't probably need to be here. Like, he is figuring out that it wants to drink his blood, but like we as the audience have kind of already got it. But anyway, he like uses a finger that's not bleeding, and then the bleeding finger, and Audrey II seems very interested in the bloody finger. So okay,
It's science.
I'm
That's
sorry.
just science. You got
It is science. It is. You got to test. You're right. I shouldn't.
Yeah.
I shouldn't follow the science. That's the number one thing that we take away from this. And as a scientist, Travis, I apologize to you and your ilk.
But the thing is, like, even if I found out that the plant wanted blood, that does not mean I'm going to give it blood. He crosses a threshold there. Where he's like, "Oh, is that what you want? Well, here, take a whole bunch of my blood." Like, I would have done that. I'd have maybe found it some roadkill or something.
He does go willy-nilly really quick to just like, yeah, sure, I'll feed this plant my blood. Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah, the way this escalates throughout the movie, surely there were other options before we
Right?
get to the point it gets to.
Rob a hospital.
Rob a hospital.
Maybe there's other options
Yeah.
than that. I'm just bad. Like, no bad ideas, right? We're just a couple guys coming up with ideas. Rob a hospital. Maybe tip over a blood bank. Steal a catheter.
I would start there.
Steal from an orphanage.
Yeah. Yep.
Wait, why are we still blood from an orphanage? What do you? Okay, I don't, guys. We're gonna let this one
They
go.
probably got
I
blood
don't want to
there.
have to testify later. Yeah, they keep it for the orphans.
Hmm.
So, well, he feeds Audrey II the blood. It nourishes her, and after he leaves the room, she actually outgrows the coffee can that she was in. So she's getting bigger from this blood. Well, we cut to the next day, and this is to me, completely unnecessary but lovely scene in the movie where Seymour has taken the now larger, about the size of, let's say, a dachshund, Audrey II to a radio station to be interviewed about this strange plant to help promote it and promote the shop, ostensibly. And Audrey II tries to bite a lady's butt.
Now, Wild likes blood, obviously, for nutrition, but also ass. Didn't see that coming.
I'm not. Was she on her period?
See,
and it smelled of
I didn't
blood.
want to be the one to say it out loud, but you have, so there it is.
My wife walked in at only one point during this entire movie, and this was that moment. And she said the exact same thing, Travis. Now, and I have some questions. I've seen this movie countless times. And I understand Audrey has a mouth. Does Audrey have eyes? Does Audrey have a nose? It looks like there might be a couple slits. How does Audrey II know that there's a big booty
Yeah,
in its face?
Kevin, how?
Well, how does a plant know to grow its roots into the dirt? It's nature.
Okay.
Could have used some more nurture.
Yeah, I think so. Well, anyway, Seymour does not let it bite this lady's butt, and he is getting ready to go into the radio station proper, or the recording booth, or the studio rather. And I just love this because it's so, to me, like old school radio, because John Candy is the one disc jockey, but he's pretending to be the weather guy, the news reporter, and Wink Winkerson, I think, who talks about all this weird stuff. And he's doing all these voices, all the wacky like morning show sound effects. But there really isn't much to this scene other than Seymour takes the plant there and starts to tell the story of how he found it again. But guys, what do you think of John Candy in this one? Frankly, I'm just going to preface by saying how good do you think he is? And if you disappoint me, we're going to have a problem.
Probably my favorite part of the movie. I love John Candy. He does no wrong.
Yeah, he's not an Uncle Buck, but he's bringing some Uncle Buck energy
Great
to that
hairdo,
radio
too.
station.
I just love this scene. It's so fun. And he's doing like wacky stuff. It's great. Anyway, a lot of wacky stuff, but not really consequential to the plot, but still really great. Well, back at the shop, Audrey is late again. She wanted to be able to catch Seymour's big radio performance or broadcast, but she comes in and she's got her arm in a lace, like a black lace sling. And this is there are a lot of really funny quips in this movie. Now, we just got to be upfront. This is a quip about abuse, and I personally don't find abuse funny. However, the delivery as well as the line is pretty funny here. He's like, let me guess, you were tied up again, and she's like, no, I was just handcuffed a little.
Just a little.
Just a little.
Just a little.
Yeah,
but
that's one
no
hand.
Good, Nick. It's just
one
wait
hand
a minute.
open, one hand closed. I don't know.
God, it just keeps coming back around.
I'm freaking out, man.
Weird. I thought Doug threw this movie at us at random, but maybe.
I want to say
maybe not.
I
Anyway,
also don't approve of abuse, especially when it's snakes being hurled into your safe space.
Okay, all right. Yeah. Always back to the snakes. I'm sorry that happened, Travis.
I'm glad you're sorry.
I'm empathetic. Yeah, I am. Well, anyway, Audrey is not able to work that day, but she heads back across the street to her apartment. The urchin or the chorus is the urchins at this time tell her like, "Hey, you really ought to dump that guy and get with that Seymour. Drop that zero and get with the hero." And she's like, "Oh, a nice guy like Seymour would never like me." And then she goes into her apartment and proceeds to rip my heart out by singing a beautiful and sad daydream song about how she wants to live a simple life. It's not, she don't have big dreams. She got simple dreams. And they're beautiful dreams. She wants a washer and a dryer and like a nice little house somewhere green with Seymour. And boys, this one choked me up a little bit.
This explains why you like Counting Crows so much.
Wait, what is that supposed to mean?
I don't know, but it does explain it. I can't explain how it explains it, but it does explain it.
I mean, if you're talking about stuff like that round here, we're going to have a real problem. Okay? Frankly, Travis, the fact that you're not a Counting Crows fan is very disappointing to me and Brian. Brian, you don't need to say so. I can see it in your eyes now.
Oh, I'm a 100% Counting Crows fan.
Okay.
I grew up on Little Shop of Horrors. The next logical step is Counting Crows.
Thank you.
Yeah. Little Shop of Horrors and everything after.
Oh my God.
That's exactly where my mind was at too, buddy. Well, maybe they have this. She's having this daydream about this beautiful greenhouse, or not green lawn, and this nice house, probably on Silver Street.
Kevin, I am going to stop you. I do think this song is supposed to be a little tongue in cheek. The beautiful dinner she has is a frozen dinner.
Right.
It's a 12-inch ginormous TV screen. I think this is where that Marxist guy was like, stop shoving capitalism into the trash.
I thought about that because it's like, again, but she doesn't have big dreams. She just has, like, she's grown up in Skid Row. We find out, like, later maybe she was, like, kind of a call girl or something.
Yeah,
that wasn't super clear, but we'll get there eventually. But she's just got a simple dream. She's got a little boy that looks like Seymour and a little girl looks like her, and they like go to bed and just they're.
She has a Tupperware party.
She has a Tupperware party, for God's sake. And then you just like cut back to, she sings this whole like beautiful daydream song about how nice her life could be. I love that they gave Seymour like a little paunch of a gut too in this. That's fantastic. And then they cut back to her apartment, back to brutal reality. And there's this caesura where she's just sitting there looking out the window, and then she sings like the last note of the song, and then just like homeless people are walking by and smashing beer bottles, and it's just like, dude, does that not make you feel anything, Travis? You heartless soul.
Yeah, I get. Yeah, Kevin. It made me feel sad for poor Audrey. I felt bad for her. I was like, gosh, dang. If only she had a better voice. I think she'd have maybe a better life.
Note to self: don't get an annoying voice around Travis. He will have no sympathy. Whatever.
No, she brought this on herself. Clean that up, I say to her.
Well, she was not able to make her dreams come true that day. But the chorus comes back out right at the end of the song. We're panning back out into Skid Row. They're on top of a building singing, and they're just this isn't a hugely like consequential thing, but it kind of pushes us forward a little bit, saying that Seymour is having fun now, but basically a little tongue-in-cheek, as Brian said, because he's feeding a lot of his blood to Audrey, and we kind of see he's kind of tired, and it's really draining a lot out of him, but we end up cutting back to
grippers. I mean, I know this is an audio medium, but we just paused on the plant sucking on his finger. And tell me, Kevin, how does that make you feel? Let me turn the tables on you. How do you feel?
It makes me feel sad because Seymour doesn't see a way out of it. And I feel like it's a metaphor for how this capitalist system is slowly draining the life from all of us. It's not happy just taking your time or your sweat or your toil. It wants your blood. You know what I'm saying? It wants your blood. And if you believe the way I believe, there's a meeting down by the docks next Tuesday night, and I want you to come.
I was just going to say, I think Seymour's lucky that he only put his finger in there. But yeah, go on.
Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure. Different movie at that point. Probably someone's already made it. But anyway, whatever Seymour's doing, it's working. The plant is now like the size of a Volkswagen Beetle, maybe. Like it's gotten some size and some girth, all right? In a huge pot. And the store is just packed. It's so busy. People coming to see the plants. Now Seymour, we just see him sort of standing in the shop. We get a little passage of time here is kind of the gist of what we see. And then he's just sort of dazed and out of it. And Mr. Mushnick, unappreciative as always, just starts yelling at Seymour for forgetting one order. I mean, he's got a store full of customers because of Seymour, and he's still got to bust Seymour's chops about this one order for a family called Shiva, who it's a funeral order. I don't know if that was like a, someone sitting Shiva kind of thing. I don't know. But anyway, that was the person's name. And he heads to the back and asks Audrey to help him put together the order to take out. And Audrey, man, she gets right on it. She's his ride or die in this shop. She's his work wife, I guess is what you would say.
Were you ride or die in your dad's shop, Brian? Did you have to go in the back and sparkle up some of the funeral plants with pops?
There were specific days, Mother's Day. We all went into the shop together because it was a very busy day for a florist. But yet Mom and Dad still wanted to be together, so we all went to work. So this movie actually gets it right. You just give and give your lifeblood to the business, and what do you get out of it? Mother's Day in a flower shop.
You know what, though? Hold on. Let me just, any woman could get a bouquet for Mother's Day. Your mom got an entire store of flowers.
That's true. Do you know what the thing I did on those days is there are they look like test tubes, and they're water tubes, and you just fill them up with water, put a cap on them, and you and eventually you stick stems in there. And so that was my job, filling the water tubes with water and sticking them in some styrofoam.
You know, I always wondered why people called you Water Tube. Now I know. Now I got it. Well,
that's some insider forest right there.
Oh, God, man, I feel like I'm more knowledgeable already. Back to A Little Shop of Horrors. Water tubes aside, Seymour and Audrey are talking. Audrey says, "You know, Seymour, you're more successful now. Maybe you should get some nicer clothes and have more self-confidence." And he's like, "Oh, I don't know. I don't even know how to buy clothes. I'm so confused by them. Where do you put your leg?" Like, he just doesn't understand things, And she says, "Well, I'll go shopping with you." And he's like, "Wow, you'd be seen in a department store with me?"
I get it.
Which just gets you. It just gets you. That got you, huh? That got you a little sad. Not her whole song about her life.
I just could relate to it. I'm so fashion dumb. I don't know what I'm doing out here, dude. And for a lady like her to take me into a department store and not be embarrassed for herself, but be there for me, both emotionally and as someone hopefully giving me fashion guidance, that hit me right in my feeler hole. Oh,
got you there, didn't it?
Did, yeah.
Well, she offers to take him shopping and then immediately dashes his hope by being like, "No, I got a date tonight, so can't do that." So we're going to cut away to, we're going to meet Steve Martin's character, Orin Scavello, who he is horribly abusive. And see, what's wild about this is the abuse is horrific, and it takes a certain performance to not draw you down into the awfulness of it, but for you to be able to kind of just enjoy the movie. You know what I mean? And the fact that Steve Martin is so hilariously goofy as this sadistic dentist somehow makes it permissible to still enjoy. You know what I'm saying? Like, not enjoy the abuse, obviously, but like to stay in the movie and follow it as more of a comedy rather than like a Lifetime movie.
Yeah, I think it makes sense. I think what you said there makes sense. It's so over the top, his character, that it's not that you excuse it, but you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah. And that he's just awful to everybody too. Like, the first time we meet him, he's riding on his motorcycle, and he does kind of an Elvis shtick. He's wearing a leather jacket, he's got the little spit curl hair, and he's singing a song literally about how he murders puppies and kittens. Like, he just comes out the gate hot.
Yeah, you think your daughter ever make it to that part, Brian? She big puppies and kittens.
My daughter, this is her favorite part. No. We cut it off as soon as the blood starts dripping.
Okay, all right, fair enough. Well, so he's singing this song about how he just liked to torture things, and that's the reason that his mom knew he'd become a dentist, because apparently dentists are just the worst. And there's some cool stuff. He's singing this song. He like punches a lady. He rips a doll's head off. And then he's just generally torturing his patients. There's one shot in here I really love where it's like from the inside of a patient's mouth, and he's like drilling, and the ladies are behind him singing. It's really great. And he has a weird altar for his mom in one of the closets. And this is all a musical number. He's just singing about how he likes to torture people as a dentist, busting some sweet dance moves. And then it ends with him, like, he's got this one patient. He's like, say ah, say ah, say ah. And he's just like, oh, it's fantastic. Can you tell I enjoyed it?
You did. I did too. It's I ran it back and watched it a couple times because it's extremely entertaining, and the song's good too.
What do you know, like, I mean, you're supposed to hate him, but I'm also kind of like, dang, that's pretty good number.
Yeah,
like,
I think it's the beauty of musicals, like the song is already over the top. You realize everything is over the top. It's just, it makes sadism fun.
It's true.
They need that on the movie poster too. It makes sadism fun. It's already fun for some people, probably. Permissible with safe words. But the very next thing that happens is we cut to the florist shop, and Seymour's cleaning up for the evening, and we hear just the Joker cackling off in the distance. No other way to put it, just a Joker laugh. And then Steve Martin comes like flying over the alley on his motorcycle and lands, and he's like he's just like huffing nitrous and kind of playing like intimidating, but still kind of buddy with Seymour, and then just talking down to Audrey. Like, just, he's like, what do you call me? Yes, doctor. Like, just, boy, this was kind of cringy for me.
Yeah.
There's no music.
That's what it is.
If he had done it, if he had been singing it, it would have been fine.
Oh,
Right.
okay. All right. Well, yeah. Well, he does, and he's just like, just Seymour's like, it's a weird, like, he's kind of being nice to him, which is odd for the character. He's usually terrible to everybody. He offers him some of his nitrous at one point. He's like, if you need a free root canal, let me know. You know, I don't know if he was just trying to guy talk him. I don't know. It was weird. But anyway, he rides away on his motorcycle, and Seymour heads back into the shop. And he's kind of muttering to himself about how terrible Orin is, and how, you know, he treats her wrong or whatever. And then, Brett, what happens next?
Well, you need to feed him. He's running a little bit out of juice, so he's going to ask for more blood, and Seymour's given all that he can give.
All his little fingers are taped up from bleeding them dry.
Yeah. And so Audrey's going to ask him for him to do a little more than maybe Seymour's willing to go for.
Well, now this is the first time Audrey has spoken, right?
Like, I glazed over that.
Yeah, not only does she speak for the first time, but she busts out in song. And this is the one, man. This is the feed me. Feed me, Seymour. Feed me all night long, so I can grow up big and strong. How was that, Audrey? Was it pretty
That
good?
was really good. And this is the one that I'm bopping at the gym. This is my gym bop.
This one got you?
Yeah. Except when I say gym, I mean when I go down to the cafeteria.
Right. Yeah, after PE class. I got you. Well, he does in fact get propositioned by Audrey to try to get her some meat, some blood. He's like, well, I'll go get you some meat from the the slaughterhouse or the deli or something. I forget exactly what he says. But it's all set through song, guys. It's all set through song. So
it's on the up and up.
And it's a bop. And finally, Audrey has to just make it pretty blunt for him. It's like, hey, look, I gotta eat people. I gotta eat peoples. And Seymour's like, well, I don't know anybody that I would kill. And she's like, well, check out the window. And right about that time, Orin and Audrey, I guess they just rode around the block on the motorcycle and went to her apartment. Yeah, which is just across the street. Well, first of all, he lands at the apartment, and she's like running up behind because he just left her behind because he's a big jerk. And then they kind of go in the apartment, presumably to do the things. And he slaps her. Sexual intercourse, and involving handcuffs, because he talks about the handcuffs. And so there's a screen down, but he kind of see the silhouette, and he slaps her. And then we see the rage of Seymour. Mm-hmm. I mean, the entire shop turns red. How's that for rage?
That's pretty ragey.
That's some good lightning. I mean, lighting.
Oh, yeah.
You know what? I'm at a 3.95 now on that. 3.95.
You don't ever. I mean, you see Rick Moranis mad sometimes, but it's usually fun. He's cute mad, but this, you could really feel it. You're like, oh my god, I think he's going to kill Steve Martin.
Yeah, he did not like that at all.
When he and Audrey are singing together and like on the same team, it's kind of cool for a while. They're like, yeah, I'd follow these guys anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Even to Murder Town.
If they're singing it, I'm in.
Well, she also sort of tells him that she'll make a devil's bargain with him. You know, if you do this thing, if you bring me human meats, I can make all your dreams come true.
You've seen my lips, right? Is what she said. You've seen these lips, haven't you?
That's what she. Oh yeah, he's seen them. So he decides he's going to kill Orin, Steve Martin's character. So,
what would you do, Kev? Would you do it? Would you go with the plant? Would you kill Steve Martin?
No, I wouldn't kill anybody for a plant. Maybe.
Oh, I would kill him.
I mean,
There's a giant talking plant asking me to kill Steve Martin. I can't.
Yeah, but I mean, you can't trust a giant talking plant.
Well, but they sang it.
Taught me nothing else. They evil.
But they sang it.
Oh, you didn't say they were singing.
Yeah, they sang it.
Is it a good song? Like, is it?
Oh,
really
it's pretty good. Yeah.
Oh, dude, Steve Martin's dead. Like, I can't resist. Yeah, man. Wow. And here I was judging Seymour very harshly. Well, we cut to Brian. What about you? Would you murder people for a singing plant?
I don't think I would. I haven't had to live up to that, but I don't think I would.
But the plant was singing.
Yeah, singing. And it's gonna make all your dreams come true. You got dreams.
Yeah, but I don't have a gun.
What does it say you have to kill him with a gun? You know, okay.
No, but I feel like it would need to be quick and over with. And I don't. Rick Moranis has one of the smallest guns I've ever seen, and I just don't have one. So I'm gonna be more impotent than Rick Moranis, which is saying a lot.
I might try to go like steal a dead body from like the morgue or something. That can't be that hard.
See, now
right?
you're thinking.
Like that,
well, see, I was just saying just steal blood from the hospital, and now you're just going to steal a whole body. Earlier, I was a bad guy for saying that. Now you're just stealing bodies. Like, that's fine.
Oh no! Well, it's already they're already like they're dead. It doesn't. I'm feeding.
Well, then why can't I steal blood?
Oh well, I didn't say you couldn't steal blood. What you said you were going to steal an orphanage or something.
I'm pretty sure
from
Brian
an
said
orphanage,
that. But I agree with him because I think orphans are full of blood.
Well,
what about
right now?
Are they still doing those museums with the bodies where they just like take all the skin off and show the bodies at the museums? You know what I'm talking about?
Museums
I have no idea
are
what you're
you going to?
There was like
Good
a time,
Lord.
like around the
museums aren't in the back of an alley, right?
There was like a bodies exhibit. I saw it in Chicago. I think it had been in New York, and they like people donated their bodies to these museums, and they just showed off their. Never mind. I'd kill someone.
Okay, good. I'm glad we settled that. Terrific. We're all horrible people, and Brian has seen real dead art bodies. Okay, cool. Easy there, water tube. You're freaking us out. All right. So anyway, Seymour decides, yes, I'm going to kill Orin. So we cut to the dentist's office, and this doesn't really have a huge amount of consequence to the plot, but we get a Bill Murray cameo here that is absolutely priceless. Travis, I know you're a big Bill Murray guy. Tell us what happens.
Bill Murray comes in there, and he's got himself a dentist appointment, and he's getting ready to get in there, and you think, he's in for it. But then he kind of matches wits with old Steve Martin there, and he's like, bring it on. And he's getting real kinky about it. It's a real kinky exchange between two very funny men. And I got to say, I'm quite into it, especially because a bit of sing-songiness to go along with it.
Yeah. It's like Bill Murray is 100%, just has a weird, I guess, dentist fetish is what's going on here.
He doesn't.
And there's a great, okay, all right, I got questions for both of you off air. But he does this. He's like Steve Martin's like working in his mouth, and he's embracing him on his back like a lover, and it's so ridiculous. And eventually, this goes on for a while. It's very funny, but doesn't.
I would love whatever outtakes they have of this. I want to see all of them.
Yeah, I don't know how they kept a straight face, like either one of them, because they are both just hysterical in this scene.
Yeah, it's
and he's stuffed full of cotton, doing the fluffy bunny bit. And also, when I watched this as a young kid, I always thought those pieces of cotton looked like the best looking cheese puffs, white cheddar cheese puffs you could ever have. Even though they had just been in Bill Murray's mouth, I would have eaten them right up.
That sounds like a hospital trip later, so I'm glad you never got those cheese puffs. But, well, eventually, Bill Murray is enjoying it so much. And Bill Murray, I forget what the character's name is, but Arthur Denton, that's his name, Arthur Denton. I don't know if it's because it sounds like dentist, but Arthur Denton. Anyway, he's enjoying it so much that it frustrates Orin, Steve Martin's character, because he wants to harm and hurt people, and and Arthur is just having a good time, so he throws him out. Which Arthur tries to steal a piece of dentist equipment, presumably for home use, just for funsies. And as he's throwing him out, Seymour is sitting in the lobby, and he sees Seymour and he says, "Hey, let me ask you a question. If I put this thing in your mouth and I started twisting at your teeth, that'd be weird, right? You wouldn't like it. It'd be painful." Seymour's like, "Yeah." So he's excited about this. Can I ask you guys a question? Just offhand, if your dentist, you're in a dentist office, all right, and he comes out and he is deranged, all right, and he's brandishing the tools of dentistry at you, are you going back there with him? I mean, let's say, but I know you're going to say no, so let me just make it a little bit like you've got a real painful incisor, like this sucker, like you've had a popcorn kernel just jammed down in the roots of it for like a week.
What is this? Is this a weird answer? If it were a hot lady dentist, I'd probably go back there. I think my kink kicks in. I'm like, whoa! I didn't know I had that in me. So, like, if Marissa Tomei came out, yeah, she could drill right into my skull. I wouldn't even care.
Pay attention, Black Widows out there in the world. Travis is susceptible to lady dentists.
Yeah.
So now
mean
know.
Ones.
Brian, I'm just going to assume that you'll probably do the same.
Yeah. It's got to be Angelica Houston now for me.
Okay. All right.
What about you, Kev?
Yeah.
Are you saying
painful
nay?
incisor?
What are you doing?
Scary dentist. I've lived a good life. Yeah, why not? Let's see what happens.
Yeah.
You know? Like, I don't
have a degree.
I don't know that I need to worry about it. I don't care. Hot lady, you know, they can look like Quasimodo. I don't care. Let's see what happens.
Well, you just saw a guy walk out happiest that you've ever seen a human walk.
That's true.
You know?
Yeah. And I mean he's got the 3-0. He got the DDS. You know, like that means he's something. He's somebody. So, you know, what do I know?
Mm-hmm.
I'm no dental scientist.
That's right.
I need to trust in the authority figure, and that's exactly what I'm going to do, and that's kind of what Seymour does. He's actually going to murder him, but he goes into the back with that intention, and Orin is very frustrated, so he gets out his special drill, which is just rusty and old and going to be extra painful. And there's a little like moment where he turns and looks away, and we see that Seymour has a gun, but Seymour sticks it back in his pocket. And then Orin says, "You know what? Gonna need some gas for this." And Seymour's like, "Oh, thank God! I was so scared it was gonna hurt." And Seymour's like, and Orin's like, "No, it's for me." And he's got. Again, this man has a kink as wide as the Nile is long, and it's some weird nitrous oxide mask that he puts on.
He looks like one of the dudes out of like Mad Max. He looks like the guy that bought Furiosa off of whatever. You know what I mean?
Joe?
Yeah, that's what he looks like. Yeah, that guy,
Mortal Joe. I also get a little bit of the like multi-drum cymbal thing that people wear, where they're marching and they're playing the cymbals and the drum at the same time.
Yeah, it does also kind of look like a fallopian tube.
Does
all right? Like that. That's odd. I was just gonna say he looks like a Batman villain, but anyway, it's a nitrous oxide mask, and as he is put this on, and he's starting to feel the effects of the gas, starting to giggle, the old giggle gas. Seymour jumps up with the gun, kind of plays a little game of stick 'em up. Mm-hmm. And Seymour's like, "I'm going to beat you up, essentially. I'm going to kill you or kick your butt or whatever after I get this mask off. But he breaks the mask.
Oops.
All right. Oopsie. And he starts to asphyxiate. All right. So he's slowly dying. So Seymour is not helping him, but he's not actively killing him. So we can still be like, all right, Seymour, maybe you're not just a total murderer, right? So we can still like Seymour going on. Even though if he murdered Orin because he's a horrible person, snappy dancer and dresser, maybe I would have let it go. But apart from that, Orin's character is like, "What did I ever do to you?" just before he dies, and Seymour says, "It's not what you did to me, it's what you did to her." And Orin, his last words is, "Oh, her," when he realizes how bad he was to Audrey. Or maybe not. Maybe he was thinking of like 800 other women that he's just been terrible to.
Who knows?
I don't know. But he is dispatched, and he's...
But who got the last laugh?
Well, he did. He was laughing a lot at the gas.
He shouldn't have.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's kind of wrong.
Yeah. Well, anyway, he's dead. And we get this great scene where Seymour is just dragging him down the steps, and he's like clunking. And so he gets him back to the little shop of horrors, and he's like, "Okay, Audrey, I did my part of the job here." And Audrey's like, "No, you got to chop him up so I can eat him." So poor Seymour, his night's not over yet. He goes out back and he chops up the remains of Orin. But there's a catch. Mr. Mushnick has, for some reason, this man never works late. Frankly, he really just puts way too much on Seymour. But he has shown up at the shop, and he catches a glimpse of what Seymour is doing and runs away in terror. Okay, so that's going to come up later. All right, so buckle up for that. Okay. But Seymour chops up the body and feeds it to Audrey, and she responds by, eating it.
Great.
Just eating it right up.
What great way to hide a body.
It is, yeah, man. Forget the old joke about a pig farm, right? But like you just have a giant plant that eats people. You're pretty good.
Yeah. A little more than a joke. There's an actual killer that did that. Willie Picton. Fed people to his pigs.
Yeah. He was from Canada, right?
Is still.
Yeah.
Maybe dead now. I don't know.
Is he still alive?
I don't know.
Okay. No, you know what? I'm just going to go out on a limb and say he's a jerk.
He's not great.
That's what I'm going to say.
He's not great.
He's not a great person.
Bad guy.
Bad guy. Well, we see him feeding the body to Audrey, and then we cut away to presumably the next morning, and Seymour is never slept, and he's just sitting in a chair downstairs in his jammies, just beside himself, PTSD, terror, whatever it is. And he hears police officers outside talking to Audrey, not the plant, Audrey 1. And he heads out there to ask her about it. And she says Orin has disappeared, and she's very upset. And Seymour tries to comfort her. She kind of runs away. And he finally just says to her, "Well, would it be that bad if something happens to Orin?" She's like, "Well, I would save a lot on Epsom salts and ace bandages." And yeah, it is. And she kind of realizes she internalizes her guilt about it and thinks like, "Oh, I shouldn't think that way. That he's gone or whatever." And she says she doesn't deserve a nice guy, that she deserves somebody like Orin because she met him in the gutter. The joke there being that it's a bar called the Gutter, and that she was wearing a scandalous outfit. This is the scene that we were kind of alluding to earlier, where it's like, was Audrey kind of a call girl, or was she just wearing scandalous outfits for like tips, or what's going on there? Well, I guess both of those could be the same. But what do you think is going on there?
Well, she also makes this confession in what looks to be like the ruins of World War II. Like the walls are crumbling. So a lot is going on here. And I don't know if the movie's trying to tell us something with the scenery, but just that maybe their whole world is crumbling down. He's an orphan. She has lived a life, and it's all starting to crumble down, so they can finally rebuild. All has to come down before they can build it back up.
Yeah, everything, it is, you're right. Everything's crumbling, but there's like flowers and stuff growing in the ruins. So maybe there's some hope.
Boobs.
Maybe. But, okay. All right.
Well, there were. I mean, that's... How are you going to describe the whole scene and not mention?
Well, I mean, they're not exposed.
No,
they're just
of course
cleavage.
not. No, she's
classic movie.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, this is the time where she's open, vulnerable. Seymour's having a frank conversation with her, and my man shoots his shot. He says, "This is my time. and it works. He actually sings his shot, I should say. And this is the song "Suddenly Seymour." One of the more catchy tunes in this bad boy. That "Suddenly Seymour" hook, man, it gets you, doesn't it?
Yeah, and it's not my favorite song, but it is the one that I'm singing throughout the workday, whether I want to or not.
And I like this scene a lot because of the blocking. Like, you see this push and pull, will they, won't they, and the blocking. They're moving away from each other. They're moving towards each other. And then they end up on a balcony. But I love the blocking in this because there's this, like, push-pull dynamic between them, and they're moving towards each other, moving away from each other, singing this great song. And then they're framed by the sunrise behind them, and they do a little smoocher-do. Now, that's romance, fellers.
Is Seymour cool at this part?
Like, do you think he's got some riz, as the kids say?
No cap.
Yeah. Like, I mean, he's obviously the protagonist, but he's kind of a doof at the beginning. Like, is he cool, though, now?
I mean, he's cooler. Like, I think murder, in his case, really upped his self-confidence.
I think so. And, I mean, we already have some insight that she does envision a future with him to some degree, so he's kind of already got the lady. He doesn't really even know it.
Ain't that the way?
He got that moxie, dude.
Ain't that the way? He got a little bit of that. I could see that moxie. You know what I'm saying? He basically came out there in his untucked shirt, you know, just smile on his face and a twinkle in his eye, and he's going to walk away with the girl of his dreams. Man, that's something, ain't it?
Mm-hmm.
Hollywood's beautiful. Well, they sure enough do a little kiss or do, and he is on cloud nine. You know, they kind of walk back. She goes into her apartment, and he just sort of floats back to his basement, lair. And Mr. Mushnick. Now, remember, he saw Seymour's nefarious deeds from the previous evening, is waiting in the dark. And he is immediately accusing Seymour of being an axe murderer. And I gotta be honest with you, if I thought for example, if I was like gonna hang out with Brian one day and he had hacked someone up with an axe, and I thought that was the case, I would not be this cavalier, because I'd say this man has murdered another man with an axe. Like, I need to slow roll this. But Mr. Mushnick, he does not do that. He just comes in hot and starts accusing him.
Why do you think I don't hang out with Doug? I mean, it's like hanging out with. I mean, he murdered my heart. He murdered my sense of safety. I don't think I would want to be alone with him. So I get it. I get it. Is what I'm saying.
So you kind of get where Mr. Mushnick's coming from.
I'm getting you. I wouldn't go hang out with somebody in the dark who I knew was capable of such foul atrocities.
Okay, all right, okay, fair enough. All right, that's understandable. Okay, you're hurt. I get it. I hear you, Travis.
I grind on his wife in the kitchen. No, I wouldn't.
I said, wow, okay. Now it's starting to come out a little bit. Okay,
didn't happen.
You weren't just having a popsicle in there, now were you? I wasn't in there to see it, but I heard slurping. Anyway, the point is here that he's coming in very cavalier, all right? And he essentially tells Seymour he's going to take him to the police, and he pulls a gun on Seymour, and they're kind of heading up there. And he essentially kind of tells Seymour, well, look, here's the idea. Why don't you just disappear and for say 20 years or so, and I'll just take care of the Audrey II. I'll have it all, all to myself. He's essentially running him out of town so he can, purloin or take his plant. I have a question with his plan. He doesn't actually need to put him in jail for that. Like, he could just, once he's he could put him in jail rather than actually having to run him out of town. Like, he could just get him convicted of the murder, and he gets the plant the same way, right?
I guess so.
I mean, I don't know how law works, but I mean, it's in his shop, so I feel like, that's probably pretty good.
Also, I would love to be not with the plant at this point. It's kind of a burden, making me murder.
Yeah, but it's also making all his dreams come true. You forget that. He knows that. It's making all his dreams come true. He just got the girl of his dreams.
And committed his first murder. You're right.
No.
That was murder by omission. That's not the same thing.
So Mr. Mushnick is kind of like Seymour's dad, right? He took him in as an orphan. There's some failed parenting here.
Yeah, he's not a good.
Like, he's just now realizing he's now trying to teach the lesson. That lesson should have been taught years ago.
I mean, it seems like the lesson he's trying to teach him is how to take advantage of somebody in a bad situation is what he's doing. And you know what? I'm not on Team Mushnick here, all right? And I'm not even upset about what happens. You know what happens is Seymour's kind of talking to Mr. Mushnick and sort of walking him backwards towards a hungry, carnivorous plant that chomps Mr. Mushnick. And that's mushed Mushnick, if you know what I mean.
And he looked juicy, dude. I bet he was good eating.
Didn't expect that, but yeah, I guess he probably was. So he does, in fact, gets eaten. And you can kind of see the guilt hit Seymour a little bit there, or horror of it as he's being eaten. But, you know, he had to do what he had to do. Well,
sure.
We get a little cutaway, and Seymour, because of this sacrifice of Mr. Mushnick, is getting even more success. We see him meeting with Hollywood types. They're throwing booze and cigarettes and contracts at him, and he's going to be on a gardening show, and they're offering him all this money. We get a bunch of those scenes. And eventually, he stumbles back into the shop, which is just like packed with people. You know, they're taking pictures of him for TV Guide and interviews and all of this stuff. And you really see the guilt of everything he's done sort of wash over him a little bit. And he starts, and then also the Audrey II collapses over and needs to be fed. It kind of wilts again, and they're like, "Well, just feed it, you know, so we can film it." And he's like, I can't feed it. And that's what spawns this whole, like, you know, panic spiral that he goes into where he throws everybody out of the shop. Now, you're a news reporter. You're there to get your shot of this giant plant. Do you care if it's just wilted over a little bit? I mean, you can still get your shot, right?
Well, and presumably this whole time, only the audience and Seymour has seen Audrey talk or do anything non-plant-like other than be big. So
Right.
The whole world is just like excited about this giant plant. So if it falls over, that's just gravity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's maybe the most exciting thing a plant can do.
I mean, they do have Venus flytraps. They eat
Sure.
flies. That's pretty cool,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Or those pitcher plants. Those are wild, aren't they? Blooming. People like when plants bloom.
Yeah, Dennis the Menace. That was a big deal in that movie when that one plant blooms there and Mr. Wilson misses it. Remember that part? Different movie.
Oh, that rascally Dennis. He ruins
he
everything.
really does.
doesn't he?
That's a good movie.
Well, you know who doesn't ruin everything is Audrey, because she follows Seymour out after he flees and runs away from all this stress. And they have a little heart-to-heart. He kind of realizes the pickle that he's in. He doesn't necessarily tell her. But she says, well, those producers are going to come back with a whole bunch of money. And he's like, money? That solves problems. I've got an idea. When they bring some money, you and I are just going to run away and leave this plant. She's like, really? He's like, yeah, let's get married while we're at it. Guys, I've only done the one marriage proposal, but, like, does it happen that fast always?
I mean, if you're in Vegas, you know, get a little,
That's true. Yeah.
little blacked out. Maybe you hit the craps table, you see a fine young lass across the way, and one thing leads to another. You wake up the next morning near a guy who looks like Elvis.
And we've already had the dentist who looks like Elvis.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You say I do.
I also want to acknowledge the costuming choices they make for Audrey for the rest of the movie. Once Orin is gone, she actually dresses a little more modestly. She doesn't have her, as Travis said, her LJs out anymore, and looks, you know, a little different. So I like that. Just that. Oh, that little touch was really good. Well, she says, yes, I will marry you, and they're going to go run off to the courthouse and get married essentially the next day, and they're going to try to stay in a hotel for the night for some inexplicable reason. Instead of just getting the money and just buying all new stuff, he wanted some of his filthy basement trash. So Seymour goes back to the shop where the murder plan is to get his filthy basement trash, and he's tiptoeing back out when Audrey wakes up. And what does she say, fellers?
Feed me?
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, feed me.
me.
She's still hungry. And he says, well, fine, the best you're going to get is I'm going to go get you some ground round down to the deli. And she's like, okay. And he's, oh, okay, well, that works. So he leaves. Then Audrey, she gets sneaky, fellas. She and this is some great puppetry. I do love everything that happens here. She kind of grows her vines out to get a quarter out of the cash register. She's stealing from the till. In addition to helping with murder, she's stealing money. But she uses her vines to like drag herself across this store, and then she calls Audrey I using the payphone in the store, and tells her essentially, "It's me." And Audrey I looks across the street from her apartment into the little shop of horrors and sees a talking plant, and her immediate reaction is, "I gotta run over there and check that."
Yeah, what the hell was that?
She just loves abuse. She gets out of one relationship and she goes running into the next one.
Man, I guess so. You know what though? If a plant called me on the back to your point about her Audrey II having eyes or ears, she holds the phone up to the side of her dome,
Right.
So I guess she's got ears somewhere in that area.
I mean, I guess we do forget that she doesn't really know the plant's capabilities. So, yeah, I guess if I thought a plant was talking to me, I might go over and talk to it. I mean, I get lonely sometimes. You know, if I see a plant want to talk to me, sometimes I'll talk back to the plant, you know. So, you know what'd be
awesome about that? It's not like the plant can just get up and leave you either. It's stuck in a pot. You could just talk to that thing all day.
Mm-hmm. Except for this one. This one's wily and can scoot around.
Yeah, it does. It does do the scooting around. Well, Audrey tells Audrey, "I sure would like a drink. I'm thirsty." Audrey's like, "Okay, well, I'll get the watering can." And Audrey's like, "Nah, I'm just gonna eat you." So she grabs her up and starts to eat Audrey I. Well, thank goodness Seymour comes back just in time. Now, it did only take Audrey like 0.3 seconds to eat Mr. Bushnick, but it takes her at least 45 to eat Audrey I. So Seymour does have time to pull her from the jaws of death. How about that, guys?
Oh, my gosh. What do you think the breath smells like? Do you think it's stinky? What do you think it smells like in there? Because it's a flower.
Dude,
it should be, you think maybe fragrant. Maybe there's a chance, but it's been just eating dudes.
You know what? There's a chance with that Orin DDS. He had nice fresh breath being the dentist that he is. But there's no way Audrey II keeps that mouth clean.
No way. And I bet Mr. Bushnick, he probably smelled like capicola.
What?
And that don't smell good when it's been sitting in a belly of a plant.
No, you're right about that. You're right about that.
Well, anyway, they run out back behind the little shop of horrors to escape Audrey and Audrey II. And this is where Audrey tells Seymour, like, we don't, he kind of confesses more or less what he's been up to with the plant. And she says, but it made you like me. It makes my dreams come true. And she says, "I love you, Seymour. It doesn't have anything to do with the plant." But we don't know that. We don't know that for sure. But we'll take her word for it. And they have this little heart-to-heart, and they still decide that they're in love and they're going to run off together. Again, he's just confessed murder. She's definitely his ride or die. And about this time, they're finishing up their convo, a little kissy-kissy, a little romance, whatever. Well, about this time, Jim Belushi's character shows up, and he's offering a whole lot of money if they can make leaf cuttings of the Audrey II in order to put one in every single household. And there's also an alternate ending to this movie, but we're gonna stick with the canon ending of this movie. What actually happens? So he shows up and makes this offer to make the Audrey II in every single household, and it's then that he number one sends Jim Belushi's character away, and decides that I can't let the Audrey II live because she's going to eat everything. She's going to kill people, especially all her little plantlings. So he tells Audrey I that he's going to go back in because it's his responsibility to take out the Audrey I. And this is kind of the capper scene here, guys. This is the big musical number at the end where he's doing battle with the Audrey II. That has my favorite song, a Green Mother from Outer Space. And there's a ton of fun stuff that happens here as they're singing the song. You've got like the little chorus of mini Audreys that like pop off of the tentacles. They're singing along. I love them. There's vines just ripping the flower shop apart.
All
Guys,
practical effects too, man. It looks so good, holds up,
So good.
Still,
it really does.
I really love it.
What's up? What was your standout in this particular number? What really stuck with you? Was it the singing Audrey's?
I think that's it. That's the part that I remembered. Like, couldn't wait to get back to that.
They're just this little chorus of horrible plans. Well, there's a bunch of stuff that happens. Like Seymour gets a gun and tries to shoot her, and Audrey takes it away and spins it around like a cowboy on one of her vines, which is hilarious. She like shoots it to the time of the music, which is fantastic. But there's a whole bunch of stuff that happens. But eventually she's rooted herself into the walls of the little shop of horrors and just rips it down on Seymour in an attempt to kill him. Tactical error on her part, though, because it exposes a live wire, a power cable, which Seymour picks up and uses to zap her to death. And she explodes like, I don't know, like the Death Star, more or less. Into a bazillion pieces, which I guess is kind of the Jaws 2 ending of the movie, which is pretty fun. And that's it, man. Like, that's kind of what happens there. And we get to see a little happy ending where Seymour and Audrey have their nice little abode in somewhere Greene. And the very last little thing we see is a zoom into their garden and their nice picturesque home, and there's an Audrey II, or at this point I guess Audrey III, growing in the garden, and that's it. That's the end of the movie. The alternate ending
is the version that I watched, and
out.
it's more like it's like Kaju. It's awesome.
I have never seen it. This is fucking awesome.
Audreyzilla comes through, busts through the theater, fucking murdering people buying the plants.
Did she eat Seymour?
No. I think you're supposed to think that he's hurt because his glasses are broken and he's now running through the city that's now being just completely upturned and destroyed. Awesome, dude. It is awesome. Everybody's got a plant now. They all went out and bought one because they thought they were so cool because they talked. Now they're just ripping the city to shreds, murdering everybody in the streets. It's great. No happy ending here. Death and destruction. Yeah.
And that's it, guys. That's the happy ending. That's the payoff. Now, as I mentioned, there is an unhappy ending that is the alternate ending, but I'll leave that for you listeners to discover on your own, as we did. Fellas, what did you think of this movie?
Oh, this is an all-timer for me. It is great. I grew up on like Henson, like Muppets, and the practical effects, so all very reminiscent of this. You got the deal with the devil. You got a weak little guy getting the girl. You've got dentistry, and then going back to my roots at the floral shop.
What did your did your dad ever watch this movie? What would he have thought of it?
He probably thought I was watching the musical.
Wait,
no, that's not true.
I like the gall on a florist calling you. That's. But you know what? It does take some strength to move them flowers around. So I would have done that.
I don't actually remember watching it with him, but I know he likes Steve Martin.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, that might have been it. Yeah. Travis.
Yeah, this is a movie that gets better and weirder every time I watch it, especially since I'm apparently watching the wrong version. I thought it ended great. No, I really have always enjoyed it, but again, like this rewatch helped. I don't know. There's something classic about it. It's got a lot of firepower, a lot of star power in it too. It's great to see all those cameos. The music's catchy and fun. It has some, I guess, outdated ideas, but I don't feel like it's so over the top that it's unwatchable or like, worthy of too much regretful hindsight. There's probably a better word for that, but I find it to be just really fun. It's really fun. And again, the practical effects hold up. I love a movie with practical effects. This is great. It's fantastic.
Yeah, man. The practical effects are great.
It's a great idea. We're talking about a plant murdering people. Like, who saw that coming? That's so fun.
And I mean, like the musical version does go very, very closely with the Richard Corbin film. So it's super fun. I love it. I love the music. It adds so much. I love the texture. I love the performance. I love the visuals. It's fantastic. It's a good one, man. I was glad Uncle Doug chucked it at us in rage. Anyway, but who cares what we think? I don't care. I really don't. What do those post-credit reviews have to say about this one, Travis?
Oh, man. People, they're all over the board, dude. I got 3 for us here, one hitting pretty much every mark that we usually hit, which is high, low, and meh. All right? People high on it here at the end. Now, these are the post-credit reviews. Might have a little bit more of more spoilery content in it, so we save those for last. We got a 4.5er from Billy Marsh. Check him out on LinkedIn. This is from yesterday. He says, ever wanted a story exploring poverty, domestic violence, murder, and the destruction of the human race set to catchy Motown and doo-wop inspired tunes? Well, this is the movie for you. So there you go. Nailed it.
Solid.
Nailed it.
That is a solid. Yeah. No, that is. I couldn't think of another word to put in that sentence.
Nope.
Oh, I don't know if we want to date the episode, but he also watched Little Shop of Horrors on Martin Luther King Jr. Day.
Got to do what you got to do.
Inauguration Day.
Oh, wow.
I prefer.
Yeah.
I should have done that.
Yeah, I was going to say I prefer it
a better way
over
to spend your
everything
time.
else. All right, and then we got a 3-star from a one Leanne. This is back in summer 2023. Bill Murray receiving consensual sadomasochistic. Did I say that right? Bill Murray receiving consensual sadomasochistic torture from dentist Steve Martin was something I didn't think was going to be in a movie about a vampire plant.
Okay. What would you expect from a vampire plant movie if you didn't expect that?
Right?
Come on, get out of here.
Right?
Manage your expectations.
Were they expecting a vampire plant movie first and foremost? Like, seems like they already knew
Frankly,
enough.
if you told me, like, hey, I want to make a movie about a vampire plant, I'd be like, all right, but is Bill Murray available?
Mm-hmm.
What's he doing right now? That'd be my first question. Okay. I don't know what her problem was.
Yeah. Then we got a 1/2-star here from a one Sarah Alford. All right. 1/2-star. Sarah didn't like it here, October 2023. She says, hated this. Hate the songs, that lady's voice, the story, the ugly ass plant, everything.
Wow. Did you write at least 10% of that review?
I did write that I hated the lady's voice, but the rest of it was Sarah Alford. Check her out on LinkedIn.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Yeah, you just added that in there. Add her on LinkedIn. Yeah, we'll do that. One of these days, I'm going to look all these people up on LinkedIn. I'm going to tell them what you said about them, Travis. I'm going to tell them what you said. Well, fantastic. Thank you for pulling those post-credit reviews. But I'll tell you, based on the 1960s low-budget film, the 1986 musical, on a budget of $25 million, went on to gross $54 million worldwide. It has firmly planted itself in pop culture as a cult classic, thanks in no small part to its catchy, unforgettable tunes that even had the likes of Travis humming along, whether he wanted to or not. I mean, come on. You had a who's who of 80s comedy here. You got Murray, Martin, Candy, Belushi. You got to respect it on the cast alone. The movie's vibrant score, blending doo-wop and Motown, has rooted itself deeply in the hearts of audiences, influencing modern musicals with its unique blend of humor and horror. Its enduring legacy bloomed to include Broadway stage adaptations, comic books, and the entirely too many theater majors saying, "Feed me, Seymour."
Well said.
That's what I think.
Well said.
Thank you. Wow.
Except for all those puns. Other than that, it was well said.
I was listening. Brian inspired me. I said, he's bringing the puns. He's bringing the heat. I got to meet my man halfway, so I put a few in there. But I'm going to turn it over a new leaf. Don't you worry. Now,
You were rooted with good intentions.
It's it's the same old story with me. All bark and no bite. Anyway, I'm going to say this: when Uncle Doug chucked that DVD at us, he didn't realize that, I don't know if he had spilled some Mountain Dew on the cover or not, but there was actually another DVD that had kind of gotten stuck to the case. There were two cases stuck together vis-a-vis Mountain Dew, and so I can, in fact, actually give you a hint about the next movie that we're going to cover.
That's science
right
there. Having things stick like that, that's just how it works.
It is science. It's a weird kind of science, if you know what I mean. A very weird kind of science. But anyway, that's that, I think. Brian, thank you so much for coming on, man, and for helping with Uncle Doug. I really appreciate it, man.
Absolutely. Love to bridge gaps anywhere I find them.
This gap remains quite far apart, the gap between myself and Uncle Doug. But, folks, if you enjoyed this episode, perhaps more than I enjoy our collective uncle, you might like our other podcasts. In fact, you can catch me on about 100 of them, including Polykill, A Drunk Friend, We Got Goosebumps, Off Kilter, and just sitting on my couch. Sometimes I just talk to my cat and I record that. If you want those, join the Patreon. I'm happy to send them to you. You can catch Kevin. He's on a board gaming podcast, Blue Peg, Pink Peg. You can guess which color of pegs he is. If you want to keep this podcast well-fed, support the Polymedia Network on Patreon. We also have to thank our pal Harvest Black for that theme music that will leave you wanting more. And just like our Uncle Doug always says, you know what? No, wait, no. I don't care what he always says. I don't want to talk about it. I'm not going to say what he. You know what he always says? And I'm a fat poo-poo head. That's what he always says.
Okay. I got it. Travis, I got it. Okay, all right. And just like some guy always says,
I think I need a root canal. I definitely need a long, slow root canal.
a flower shop so small and bright hid a plant with quite a bite. Audrey II grew big and mean, hungry and gruesome on the scene. With each feed me, fate was sealed, as doom and chaos were revealed.